But you must rest days be full of I'm utterly
greedy, greedy, greedy. I've grabbed all the money I could get. I'm so greedy.
They will be proud and abusive.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals.
Uncontrolled and violent.
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
They will be treacherous, reckless, and arrogant.
I am the chosen one.
Loving what gives them pleasure instead of loving God.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet.
Maintain a facade of religion, but their lives deny the truth.
Have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
That's a tough question. I'm not sure I have. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't.
Keep clear of people like that.
My fellow Americans, it's time to clean house. Clean out the privileges and perks. Clean out the arrogance and big egos. Clean out the scandals.
Trump found guilty on all 34 criminal charges against him.
Beware the temptation of pride.
I am the chosen one.
Don't let anyone tell you that America's best days are behind her.
The American dream is dead.
There are people who try to will freedom away. They try to legislate it away.
I got rid of Roe v. Wade.
That's what tyranny is.
He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
Regimes planted by bayonets do not take root. Armed aggression must not succeed.
If I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I feel like absolute crap. I'm gonna try and get through this without coughing directly into the mic or sniffing too much, but we'll see how it goes, because I am currently sick as a dog. A little ironic, but is what it is. And, hey, look at that. We're only a half hour late today. So that's got to be some kind of record. So yeah, this is going to be not too long of a stream. Just going to try and get through as many of these timely stories as I can, because yeah, I gotta get these stories out before they get too far in the rear view mirror here, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. I don't think there's even any announcements today. Here's a little announcement. I'm changing the stream settings a little bit here. I switched it to ultra low latency instead of low latency, so hopefully it won't lag quite so much. I know some people were complaining in the last stream about it buffering, so we'll see if this helps. Let me know if the quality's, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so I guess let's just get right into the news. Let's see what we got here. Okay, debunking election conspiracies. So immediately following the election, Democrats, seemingly unable or unwilling to believe that more than half the country was actually dumb enough to re-elect a convicted felon/rapist, began spreading conspiracy theories about a rigged election online. And you can't really blame them, considering this is the same guy that still hasn't conceded that he lost the last election and spread dozens of his own baseless conspiracy theories about it being rigged before leading a violent insurrection to try and overthrow the results. Remember that? Something he was gearing up to do again in the event that he lost, and was even spreading voter fraud conspiracies of his own on election night, right up until he started pulling ahead in the polls, and then all of a sudden, all that voter fraud magically disappeared. How convenient. Yeah, remember when he was casually letting everybody know that he was planning on doing another January 6th? And this was on election night, as the votes were coming in. Philadelphia and Detroit, heavy law enforcement is there. A lot of talk about massive cheating in Philadelphia. Law enforcement coming. And then he won, and hey, what do you know? Completely silent about all that voter fraud he claimed to have, discovered. Awful funny, that, isn't it? So after we take a quick second to acknowledge the mind-blowing hypocrisy that the same brain-dead dipshits that were crying for the last 4 years straight and literally attacked the Capitol because they were too pathetic to admit that their orange cult leader, who wears more makeup than a blind girl on prom night, lost the last election, are now the same hypocrites trying to tell Democrats to just accept the results of this election. Let's debunk some of the stupid conspiracies around going around on social media. Yeah, you know, remember that? This is you guys accepting the results. Taking a piss on the Capitol, replacing the flag with a Trump flag. Here's your oversized Oompa Loompa cult leader fucking lost his election there. Smearing on all that shit on his stupid fucking face. Whoops. No volume.
She just... Why is she not speaking tonight? She lost. She just go to bed? I mean, you know, Wisconsin's called. It's over. Why is she not coming out and conceding? It's it's shameful.
The whole thing was that he was going to say he won when he didn't really win, or not concede if he lost.
Yeah.
It's shameful. It's so shameful. She hasn't conceded for a whole 4 hours. Meanwhile, your guy still hasn't conceded a full 4 years later. Oh, so shameful. These motherfuckers are shameless. Anyway, oh, wait a second. So unlike with the election conspiracy theories of 2020, this fresh batch of conspiracies doesn't seem to stop at any political line in the sand, with both the right and the left taking the exact same misinformation and twisting it to fit their preferred narratives. Like this hilarious and depressing example, where a right-wing account and a left-wing account made the exact same post word for word, with one claiming Arizona's election was rigged against the Republicans, and the other claiming it was rigged against the Democrats. And almost immediately after the election was called for Gropey McOrange, people on the left started claiming that the election was rigged because there appeared to be... jeez. Yeah, bear with me, guys. I'm sick here. And almost immediately... Take 3! And almost immediately after the election was called for Gropey McOrange, people on the left started claiming that the election was rigged because there appeared to be between 15 and 20 million less votes than in the last election. Explain to me how there can be a record turnout but 20 million less actual votes. 2020, 81 million for Democrats, 74 million for Republicans. 2024, 66 million for Democrats, 71 million. Where the fuck did 15 million Democrat votes go? While at the same time, people on the right were using the exact same misinformation as proof that the last election was stolen. 2012, 2016, 2020, question mark, 2024. Sorry to beat a dead horse, but can we go back to what happened here? Well, we sure can. But children, please, there's no need to argue. You're both stupid. Since even now, not all the votes have been counted, with ballots still needing to be counted in California, Washington, Alaska, Oregon, and Arizona. Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Alaska, 77, Utah, Wyoming. I think some of these have finished counting by now. I did take that video a couple days ago, so some of them might be done counting. California definitely isn't. But either way, adjusted for the remaining votes, that chart that the maggots were spreading around starts to look more like this. Not quite so suspicious now, is it? with the number of votes being almost identical to what they were in 2020. 2020, 155 million. 2024, 138 million counted. 154 million estimated once all the votes are counted. Which means that, yet again, roughly 150 million dipshits couldn't be bothered to get off their ass to vote. Something they're definitely going to be kicking themselves for over the next 4 years. But even with their cult leader winning, and the rest of the cult winning both the Senate and Congress, the maggots still haven't stopped whining about an imaginary stolen election, since apparently they're still so dumb that they haven't figured out how absentee ballots and mail-in voting works. With this BS being amplified by the new First Lady, Elon Musk, you know, because apparently we were so focused on stealing Wisconsin that we just kind of forgot to steal the rest of the election. Once again, a 3:30 a.m. ballot dump lost us a critical race in Wisconsin. Elon Musk. Raised eyebrow emoji. Yeah, we were just so focused on stealing Wisconsin, guys, we forgot about the presidency altogether. But hey, we got Wisconsin. Idiots. And speaking of Elania, the next big conspiracy coming out of the left is that Elon Musk somehow used Starlink to interfere with the vote counts in swing states, and then destroyed the states, and then destroyed the satellites to hide the evidence. Do tell, Elon. Anything can be hacked. Leon Starlink used to count votes. Many votes uncounted. Blue down-ticket votes put a Trump vote at top. Russian bomb threat. Oh my god, these people are insane. So 13.7 million Democrat votes missing. Elon Musk offered Starlink to help election tabulation. Elon Musk destroys several Starlink satellites after Tuesday. Nothing to see here. 44,000 likes on that shit. Musk just now blew up Starlink satellites, took millions offline, destroying evidence. You think there are millions of Starlink satellites? Jesus Christ, these people are crazy. This conspiracy sprang to life as a result of a variety of factors. The first being that a handful of counties did use Starlink internet at their polling stations.
Registrar Michelle Baldwin says access to connectivity was improved this year thanks to Starlink satellite internet. She adds early technical difficulties with the tabulator machine were quickly fixed and did not impact vote count. 5 of the 10 volunteers assigned to the Exeter poll location did not show up, but Baldwin says all of the sites still ran smoothly.
And the second was when, shortly after Election Day, videos started going viral of a Starlink satellite burning up as it re-entered Earth's atmosphere over the border of Oklahoma and Texas. Right there.
I got it.
What the fuck is that? Dude, what the fuck is that?
What is that?
What the fuck is that?
Yo!
Yo!
Wow, what the heck? What is it?
You talking about that? What is that? It's right here, dude.
That I don't know.
How cool is that?
Gotta love the variety of different reactions there. What is that? That I don't know. And the other guy, yo! So naturally, morons on Twitter, never willing to let a good conspiracy go to waste, immediately started claiming that it was proof that Elon was destroying evidence that he had rigged the election. Musk used Starlink in all swing states, removing Democratic votes for president and key Senate races. This is how 15 to 20 million voters disappeared. This is why a key Starlink satellite crashed and burned overnight. Musk just now blew up Starlink satellites. Oh, we already read that stupidity. Starlink did the cheating while used to tabulate votes. Then Starlink satellites were destroyed after Tuesday. Some strange things happening. Starlink satellite incident sparks election fraud allegations. But if those same morons had spent 1/100th of the energy that they... bear with me, guys. But if those same morons had spent 1/100th of this... oh my god, alright, take 3. But if those same morons had spent 1/100th of the energy that they did spreading baseless conspiracies on doing even 5 minutes of research on the topic they seemingly care so much about, they could have easily avoided making themselves look like complete jackasses. According to the Associated Press last month, voting machines are, generally, not connected to the internet. With a few exceptions, however, there are some jurisdictions in a few states that permit ballot scanners to transmit unofficial results using a mobile private network after voting ends on election day, and after memory cards containing the vote tallies have been removed. But then what was with those Starlinks getting all explodey over Texas? After all, Starlinks don't just fall out of the sky for no reason, right? Well, you're right, they don't. There's actually a couple reasons a satellite might one day come crashing through your roof to say hi. And unfortunately for all you conspiracy weirdos, a Starlink satellite making like a Neil Young song and choosing to burn out rather than fade away isn't actually proof of anything. Since 2019, SpaceX has launched more than 6,000 operation satellites. Since 2019, SpaceX has launched more than 6,000 operation satellites into orbit to become part of its Starlink constellation to deliver internet to customers around the world. Because the satellites operate in low Earth orbit, below 372 miles in altitude, atmospheric drag should deorbit a satellite naturally within 5 years, sending it burning up in Earth's orbit. However, SpaceX also says it takes measures to deorbit satellites that risk becoming non-maneuverable. SpaceX has to date conducted controlled deorbits of 406 satellites and will perform another 100 more in the coming months. According to the ESA's 2023 Space Environmental Report, approximately 160 large objects, such as satellites, made uncontrolled re-entry in 2021. While these events are not widely publicized, space agencies carefully monitor them to ensure they pose minimal threat to human life and property. And this isn't even the first time that Starlink satellites shitting the bed have made the news this year, with SpaceX blowing up 100 of them back in February. February 14th, Valentine's Day, SpaceX announces plans to set 100 Starlink satellites on fire. That's one way to handle space junk. And then 20 more falling off the back of a rocket, back in July. 20 satellites fall from sky after catastrophic SpaceX rocket failure, triggering investigation. 20 doomed Starlink satellites, which were prematurely released during a botched Falcon 9 rocket launch last week, have burned up in the upper atmosphere after falling back to Earth. And 40 of these stupid things were even knocked out of orbit back in 2022 by a fart from the sun. Solar storm knocks 40 SpaceX satellites out of orbit. A solar outburst is increasing atmospheric drag and pulling the satellites back down to Earth. Then there are the people claiming that the high number of Republicans that voted for Trump but didn't vote for the Republican candidate for senator or left the rest of the ballot blank is proof that Trump cheated. So you can see there's a difference of over 500,000 that only voted for Trump and nobody else. It's very suspicious that so many swing states went to Trump but still elected a Democrat as their senator. There's some kind of massive fraud going on here. I just have a hard time believing that so many Republicans voted for Trump but didn't bother to vote for the Republican senator. In fact, they didn't bother to vote for anyone else, just Trump. 40,000 people. You have bad news for you guys, it's a lot more than 40,000. I'm just wondering, why would they vote Trump and leave the rest blank? Wouldn't they want to vote red down the whole ballot? So you're trying to tell me a bunch of illogical weirdos voted weird and illogically? Yes! What the fuck? This one can be debunked just by simply thinking about it logically for a few seconds. Is it really that hard to believe that a large portion of a cult comprised entirely of all the dumbest people in society, most of whom can't even figure out how to use a toothbrush, would only vote for their cult leader and likely not even know who their Senate candidate even was? No, it's really not hard to believe. In fact, it makes perfect sense. Look at these idiots. You think they know who their Senate candidates are? Like, I know you guys are grieving right now, but I'm really gonna need you to get over this denial phase, because it's getting kind of embarrassing. And look, I'm not gonna go so far as to say there haven't been some very suspicious things with this election. Like, for instance, that Milwaukee coincidentally had an error counting 30,000 ballots at the exact same time that Trump was winning Wisconsin by 30,000 votes. Milwaukee rerunning more than 30,000 absentee ballots over error delaying results. And at that exact moment, Trump was ahead by 30,000 votes. Actually, a little less than 30,000. Or the box of ballots that conveniently fell off the back of a truck in Florida.
A box and a bag containing completed early voting ballots was found on the road by a driver after a worker forgot to lock the back of a truck.
This is some sealed ballots.
The driver found the items in Miami-Dade County, Florida, and initially thought they were garbage. The driver said he took the ballots to a police station. Election staff verified that the seals on the box and bag were, quote, intact and nothing was tampered with or damaged. Though the incident was an accident, the worker who was transporting the ballots was terminated, according to the Miami-Dade County Elections Department.
Or the multiple instances of people reporting that they can't find their mail-in ballot when they try tracking it online. Dude, my ballot isn't even showing up when I track it in Alabama.
Oh, now I'm pissed. I was like, yeah, conspiracy theories, whatever. I'm in Minnesota, the day of the election on Tuesday morning. Oh, now I'm pissed. I was like, yeah, conspiracy theories, whatever. I'm in Minnesota, the day of the election on Tuesday morning. This is what it said. It said that Tuesday morning, my ballot was accepted on October 10th. Explain this one to me. Where's my ballot? Where are our ballots? Where is my ballot? I voted. It accepted my ballot, and now they can't find it. Again, I'm not trying to get into these conspiracy theories, but you guys.
And then there are plenty of valid reasons to be suspicious. Oh, wait, what? And there are plenty of valid reasons to be suspicious, like the fact that Trump repeatedly said on the campaign trail that he didn't need votes.
I tell my people, I don't need any votes. We got all the votes we need. I don't need votes. All I want to do is make sure that we guard our vote. It's guard. I actually tell our people, we don't need your vote. We got so many votes, we don't need them.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes.
We don't need votes. I tell my people, I don't need any votes. We got all the votes we need. I don't need votes. We don't need votes. We got more votes than anybody's ever had.
You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting. The voting, we got plenty of votes.
Yeah, nothing suspicious there. Hey there, bud. How's it going? Where do we leave off here? Okay. Or the fact that Russians called in over 60 bomb threats to polling stations in Democrat-leaning counties in swing states. Appalling 67 bomb threats, most of them targeting heavily Democratic cities, all of which had lower turnout than in 2020. Many of the threats were traced to Russia. Hoax bomb threats made to dozens of polling locations in swing states. Or that experts have been warning since the 2022 midterms that take two. Or that experts have been warning since the 2022 midterms that voting software had been breached by Republicans and the information that they took could be exploited in future elections. Security footage shows Georgia County Republican chair, election official, present during breach of voting equipment. Voting experts warn of serious threats for 2024 from election equipment software breaches. Election security experts worry the information obtained, including complete copies of hard drives, could be exploited by those who want to interfere with future elections. But the problem is that if you're going to start saying that the election was rigged and demanding recounts, you need evidence to back up your claims. And even those same experts from before, in their own letter asking Kamala to call for recounts, And even those same experts from before, in their own letter asking Kamala to call for recounts in certain states, admit they don't actually have any evidence. We have no evidence that the outcome of the elections in those states were actually compromised as a result of the security breaches, and we're not suggesting that they were. Besides, you guys are putting so much focus on all these illegal ways that they could have maybe possibly stolen the election that you're completely ignoring the legal ways that they did steal the election. Let's not forget all the last-minute voter roll purging that Republicans did in Democrat-leaning counties all across the country. Supreme Court allows Virginia to purge voter rolls ahead of the election. Purging voters inside Republicans' effort to restrict 2024 U.S. election vote. Right-wing activists are pushing states to use their voter roll purging software. Inside the plan to use AI to purge voter rolls. Or that Roger Stone was caught on tape bragging about his efforts to get 1 million Democrats purged off the voter rolls.
We need, for example, to clean our voting lists. The California Republican Assembly, which is an independent organization that I support, you know those great folks, they have done an excellent job of using a program to go through all 15 million Florida voters, and they have found over 1 million undeliverable addresses. Now they're going one by one to the county boards of elections to have those people removed. Now some counties are refusing, and those counties will find themselves in court shortly. But out of 67 counties, I believe, 61 have cooperated. You can guess which ones are the ones that won't cooperate. The big counties run by Democrats.
Or that Georgia passed a law that allowed literally anybody to challenge anybody else's voter registration.
Thousands of voter registrations in Denton County being challenged as ineligible.
Finding out that I'm on some sort of hit list of people who shouldn't be voting. I was pretty pissed off.
Daniel Moss's challenge came from someone he doesn't even know.
I want to say it was Nancy.
Nancy lives in the same county and single-handedly sent in thousands of challenges this year.
Nancy sends me something every day.
Just a handful of people
can cause a huge amount of problems. Last year in Waterford, Michigan, a county clerk improperly cut more than 1,000 voters from their rolls in response to challenges from one 79-year-old resident who believed the last election was stolen. And challenges have been particularly intense in the swing state of Georgia, where because of a new state law there, anyone can now bring an unlimited number of challenges against anyone in their county, which then have to be heard within 10 business days. Since that bill was passed, more than 180,000 citizen challenges have been filed, with the vast majority by just 6 people, which is ridiculous.
And with Republicans now in control of the White House, Congress, and the Senate, you can bet your ass they'll be doing everything they can to pass more laws to suppress and restrict voting by Democrats, all while installing more Republican state judges that will allow for more last-minute voter purges of Democrats right before the next election. And if you try to fight it in court, it'll just get kicked up to the Supreme Court, where Trump's about to install at least 2 more maggot judges to his already maggot-packed court, basically making it legal for Republicans to kick enough Democrats off the voter rolls in enough states to win the Electoral College so that they can never lose another election regardless of who wins the popular vote. They got everything. White House, Senate, House, even the governors. Supreme Court allows Virginia to purge voter rolls ahead of the election. That's what. God, I gotta pre-fruit this. That's why we kept telling you dummies that Trump was a threat to democracy, because as of now, democracy is effectively dead. We're now a single-party nation that every 4 years will have the illusion of elections, the same way Russia has elections. Where everybody already knows that Putin is gonna win with 163% of the vote before a single ballot is cast. Putin declares victory in sham presidential election. So when all you dipshits that voted for Trump finally snap out of it after he cuts your Medicare and Social Security and his tariffs kick in and raise the price of everything, and you decide you finally want to quit the cult and vote him out, you won't be able to. So good job, jackasses, you completely fucked yourselves. Okay, I guess let's do the random news now. God, I feel like shit. So in case you haven't lost all faith in humanity just yet, this ought to do the trick. Apparently, there were people so dumb that they decided to vote for a convicted felon and rapist who tried to overthrow the government when he lost the last election, all because Kamala didn't go on Joe Rogan's podcast.
A little while ago, we were talking to 2 guys. One of them said that he was on the fence until he said when Kamala did not go on the Joe Rogan podcast, that was what influenced his vote. He ended up voting for Trump, but he said that he was open to listening to Kamala on the podcast, and when she didn't, again, not necessarily all the issues, but the fact that he said she didn't seem like a real person because she couldn't talk for an extended period of time. So it's just some of the things that we're hearing from some of these college students.
So he chose to vote for a real piece of shit instead. Brilliant. Dumbest country on earth. But at least there's apparently still a few honest media outlets left in this country, because the day after the election, Rolling Stone nailed the perfect headline and then fired off a banger tweet to go with it. America elects convicted felon to be president. Donald Trump, the twice-impeached former president, Jan 6 coup leader, convicted felon, adjudicated sexual abuser, and man who mismanaged the 2020 economic implosion and coronavirus disaster that killed more than 1 million people in this country, has convinced American voters to give him another term in the White House. But think about the podcast. Come on, guys. Oh yeah, and since I'm going to be doing this a lot over the coming years, it's time for the first of many post-election I told you so's. So to all the maggots that kept trying to tell me that Project 2025 wasn't Trump's plan, I realize that you have less self-awareness than a moldy walnut, but if you did have any, you'd be feeling pretty stupid right about now. Yeah, remember the comments you dipshits left on these two videos? How you feeling about those? Megastars gloat that they can finally admit Project 2025 will be Trump's agenda, as Bannon names first targets. Matt Walsh, now that the election is over, I think we can finally say that, yeah, actually Project 2025 is the agenda. Trump appoints Project 2025 contributor Tom Homan as his border czar. Homan was responsible for the Trump administration's family separation policy that wants to deport children born in the United States. And then there's his pick to be the new FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, who, surprise, surprise, also authored the FCC chapter of Project 2025, where he voiced his support for banning TikTok. You know, that app that Trump's promised he would save. He also wrote that he supports a complete ban of TikTok, though Trump's wavering position on the app makes the future of such a ban unclear at this point. No, it really doesn't.
For all of those that want to save TikTok in America, vote for Trump.
Brendan Carr successfully auditioned to be Trump's FCC chair. Oh shit, I forgot to read the first part. And like most of Trump's cabinet picks so far, he was likely chosen because Trump saw him on TV, where he went on Fox News and voiced his support for canceling the licenses of news networks that Trump doesn't like. Brendan Carr successfully auditioned to be Trump's FCC chairman, was clear as day after Fox News' appearance where he indicated he would be willing to target broadcast licenses of networks Trump doesn't like. And just to really drive it home, I don't have anything personal against Trump's new FCC chair nominee, Brendan Carr, but it is telling that when I held up an example of traditional limited government, conservatism versus big government culture war, he endorsed the latter. He suggests Heritage Projects 2025 is getting enacted. Gee, I wonder why he would do that. And just to really drive home the fact that America is about to make a full transition to North Korean and Russian-style state-run media, Trump today posted his demands that senators kill a bill specifically drafted to protect the freedom of the press. Gee, I wonder why people keep calling him a fascist. Think it has anything to do with all the fascism? Republicans must kill this bill. PBS NewsHour, political divisions threaten bill to protect press freedom. And now to solidify his Project 2025 plans, Trump is planning to announce its key architect, Russ Vought, as his cabinet pick to lead the Office of Management and Budget. You might remember, here we go. Trump taps Russ Vought, one of the authors of Project 2025, to lead Budget Office again. Before he joined the first Trump White House, Vought was Vice President of Heritage Action for America, which leads a grassroots effort to implement conservative policies across the U.S. It produces a conservative scorecard that grades members of Congress on their votes on conservative bills. Vought wrote a chapter of the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 blueprint. His chapter covers the Executive Office of the President. The OMB Director's Office develops the President's proposed budget and is responsible for executing the President's agenda across the federal government. You might remember Vought from my video a few months ago, where I proved Project 2025 was Trump's plan all along after Vought was caught on a hidden camera confessing to an undercover reporter that Trump was fully on board with the plan, despite publicly denouncing it to his gullible base's stupid faces.
Meet Russ Vought.
Russell Vought, the former director of the Office of Management and Budget.
He's been called the most dangerous MAGA diehard you've never heard of.
I am opposed to the Department of Education because I think it's the Department of Critical Race Theory.
The Russ Vought were comrades in arms.
Formerly a cabinet member and chief lieutenant in the first Trump admin.
I want to thank Russ for doing an incredible job.
He now runs a group called Center for Renewing America.
An organization that I helped turn into the Death Star that is accomplishing
all the debates that you are reading about. I think you have to rehabilitate Christian nationalism. You have the largest deportation in history, block funding for Planned Parenthood.
Vogt is one of the key authors of the blueprint for a second Trump administration.
Project 2025.
It's an ambitious 920-page blueprint.
Like eliminating the Department of Education.
The mass firings of civil servants.
Banning access to the abortion pill and further restricting abortion rights.
In recent weeks, the plans have become so controversial that Trump has been forced to distance himself.
They're sort of the opposite of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left and you have the radical right. And they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is, it's Project 25.
Are you ready? I know nothing about Project 25. I haven't seen the document. I don't intend to really see the document.
But behind closed doors, Vogt tells us not to take Trump's disavowal seriously.
I expected to hear 10 more times from the rally, the president, distancing himself from the left's boogeyman of Project 2025.
Yeah. And you're not worried about that?
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
He's running against a brand. He is not running against any people.
Okay.
He is not running against any institutions. It's interesting, he's in fact not even opposing himself to a particular policy.
Yeah.
He's been at our organization, he's raised money for our organization, he's blessed it from the, I remember walking into our last day in office and told him what I was going to do. So he's very supportive of what we do.
Gee, if only somebody had warned you guys before. Oh wait, I did, and you didn't listen. Idiots. So yeah, count this as the first of many future I told you so's, you dumbasses. Hey, how's it going? Well, I don't know. We're about to be a full-blown dictatorship, so not great. How's it going with you? Hey, cat. I am Democat. Or Democat. I don't know why I said it like that. Democat. But yeah, so I don't know. Kinda bad timing for you guys to all show up now, since I just kinda wrapped everything up here. But yeah, I'm feeling a little under the weather today. And by a little under the weather, I mean like absolute fucking garbage. But yeah, feel free to rewind and go watch the stories we just covered if you want to be thoroughly depressed. And if not, then, I don't know, enjoy your night. But I am going to go and get back to editing and then probably crash because I am feeling like absolute dog shit. I'm actually surprised how good I did not coughing into the mic. I think I only coughed like 2 or 3 times. So, see, now I just jinked myself. Are you a Democrat? No. Did you not hear me? I'm a Democat. Meow. Yeah. Are you a Democrat? What are you? You look like a dog. That is a dog, right? Or is it a bear? Polar bear? I don't know. I can't tell. The picture's too small. Yeah, what's going on with you guys? I don't know, I'll hang out for a bit. Got any thoughts about, I don't know, the state of America? It's been a action-packed 2 weeks, man. This has been... I got some juicy videos coming down the pipe. This is gonna be... I didn't think I was gonna enjoy this as much as I am, but it'll probably spill over onto me in the not too distant future. But right now, I'm loving it. Seeing all the maggots cry, like just realizing the stupid fucking choice they made, and they're about to get what they deserve. So good. I don't know about you guys, but I like a good dose of instant karma. Who did you want to win for the election? The only one that isn't a fucking dictator that smears a bunch of orange shit on his face every day. You can take a guess, see which one that description fits. Or do I not care? Guy, I'm a blue cat named Democat. Do you honestly think I don't care? You must be new here. Welcome. No, I care. I care. I wanted Kamala to win. Now, if I'm being really honest, I wanted, Biden to win. But people seem to have forgotten what the fuck the job of the presidency is, since apparently they think it's giving speeches and shaking hands and kissing babies, despite that being literally the least important part. The actual job of the presidency is sitting behind a desk, signing papers, making phone calls, and making decisions. Something Biden has been pretty damn good at, compared to, previous presidents. You too, Obama. I mean, by the numbers, Biden has been, like, by far the best president of my lifetime. Just by the numbers. I mean, there is, like, the unfortunate reality that now, since there's a time delay on how all these policies and stuff actually work, Trump will now be able to waltz in there and take credit for it. So that's great. And his dipshit base is so dumb that they don't actually look into anything that, they'll just gobble it up like all his other lies, despite those very same lies literally blowing up in their face as we speak. But, didn't want either to win the election. They both suck. Okay, well, neither isn't an option, so, Please, for the love of God, don't tell me you're a Jill Stein voter. Ugh, that would crush my soul. They're getting a fat dose of karma too right now. I love how quickly this all turned around. Within 48 hours, everybody was crying about, oops, I fucked up. Can I change my vote? Literally, the Google search trends for can I search my vote skyrocketed right after the election. Like, it's, people are so fucking stupid. I mean, just, you think, like, I don't know. Maybe this is what we need. Maybe we just need to just let the world burn for like a good couple years. There'll be a revolt, hopefully. I mean, as far as legitimate elections go, that's that shit is over. Go back and watch the stories I just covered, and yeah. I didn't want to vote for Trump or Kamala. So what? You just did nothing? What the hell problem does that solve? None. It got you in the problem you're in right now. Oh yeah, I guess I should put this on the screen so people know what the hell I'm talking about. Actually, they can read the little writing there. Yeah, see, this is, sounds like you're one of the people I was talking about before that couldn't be bothered to get off your ass and get out there to vote, huh? I mean, I get it, I get it. Not wanting to vote for two candidates because you think they both suck. Or in this case, three candidates because they both suck. But that's not an option. I mean, the lesser of two evils is such a weird phrase. Like, obviously, you would go for the... I voted for PSL. Who the fuck is PSL? PSL. Yeah, that's not ringing any bells. Who the fuck is PSL? But yeah, I mean, like, obviously you're gonna go with the lesser of two evils. I mean, if somebody says, I'm gonna go out and kill one person, or I'm gonna go out and kill 20 people, which one are you gonna pick? You're obviously gonna pick the lesser of the two evils. You want anybody to die, but if you gotta choose between one person and 20 people, you're gonna pick the lesser of the two evils. It's kind of where we were at politically, but apparently that's too hard of a concept for some people. But, yeah. Is what it is. Anywho, I don't know. I'm just, I'm curious. I'm wondering, it's part of the socialism and liberation. It's a party for socialism and liberation. Okay. Well, spoiler alert, they didn't win, so good job pissing away that vote. Could have used it, to stop the whole impending dictatorship thing. But, live and learn. But yeah, I'm weirdly excited. Like I said, probably because, it hasn't spilled over onto me yet, so I just get to sit back and enjoy the sweet, sweet karma, but, it is, probably gonna spill over onto me in the not too distant future. This is gonna touch everybody. This is literally, like, if you enjoy, dark humor and shitty people getting karma, this is gonna be the greatest 4 years of your life. Well, let's hope. Let's really hope 4 years. I have my severe doubts if you're looking at the current state of things. I guess it all depends how many judges Trump installs, and considering he's already throwing a hissy fit about how many judges Democrats are trying to ram through in these last couple months, I have a feeling he's gonna pack the courts over these next couple of years, so you can pretty much kiss any future elections goodbye, because all they're gonna do is purge voter rolls right before the election, just like they did this time. If it comes to hundreds of thousands of people dying, I can vote for you. You can't vote for me, guy. The election's over. And the Democrats were responsible for hundreds of thousands of deaths in Gaza. Yeah, well, I got bad news for you, buddy. You're about to see a whole lot more than that. This is the thing. I don't know how many times I need to say it, but I literally, how many videos did I start playing the two videos side by side where Kamala and Biden were literally, every rally calling for a ceasefire, multiple press conferences, Biden was calling for a ceasefire, every rally, Kamala was calling for a ceasefire, and then I played the video of Trump every goddamn time he got in front of a microphone, literally saying how he wanted Israel to hurry up and finish the job, level Gaza so we could open up beachfront property, wasn't going to accept any refugees from Palestine, using Palestinians as a slur, and you guys still thought that was the guy that was going to be better for Gaza. Well, how's that working out for you? Don't worry, I got a video coming in the future to let you know. Spoiler alert, not well, and it's only going to get worse from here. And let's keep in mind, it's only been 2 fucking weeks. 2 weeks! You have a minimum of 2 years, and that's if there's a massive revolt and a miracle happens in the midterms, and we can take control of the House and the Senate, which I have my doubts about. Well, I can't believe they were calling for a ceasefire while giving them the tens of billions of dollars in weapons. Yeah, guy. Oh, God. So you've clearly never watched any of my videos. We've been over this. Yeah, if you don't give them aid, you have no bargaining chips. Why would they listen to you if you've taken away every reason for them to listen to you? You can't be like, hey, we're not giving you anything, so listen to us about a ceasefire, please. It's like, why should we? You just took away all our money. If you give them money, you say, hey, if you want any more of it, you better fucking make with the ceasefire plans. Now, granted, Trump did everything he could, working in the background to fuck up those plans. I highly recommend you go back and watch some of my videos on YouTube there, bud. I go over all this stuff in great detail. Don't worry, I'm not the kind of guy that just makes baseless accusations with no evidence to back it up. I bring receipts for all this shit, unlike Republicans. But, is what it is. Not really shitting on you, just saying, it helps to be a little bit informed, A little bit of research goes a long way when it comes to the freedom of your country, but, Israel wouldn't have the ability to do what it's doing without the U.S. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, bud, but Israel gets aid from a lot of other countries. They would definitely be able to do what they're doing without the U.S. It would be a little bit more costly for them, or it would be a little bit less efficient, you could argue. Sure, I'll give you that. But, yeah, then again, like I just said, the U.S. wouldn't have any say in what they do. At least now, like, here's the thing you guys don't seem to understand. Israel is the only military on Earth that actually warns civilians of where they're about to drop a bomb. They do roof taps, they send out messages, they drop pamphlets. Name another country that does that. Any country. I'll wait. Spoiler alert, there are none. You know? You want them to keep doing that, you gotta keep the money flowing, or else they'll just be like, yeah, fuck you guys, we're just gonna blow up that apartment building without telling anybody anything. 70% of the Gazan genocide came from aid by the United States. Okay, cool. So you're literally validating what I just said. There are other countries supporting Israel. And here's the thing about weapons contracts. They kind of go wherever they're available. So if the US were to pull out, they just funnel more money to another country that has the weapons they need, and they would pay them a little bit more. So US makes them readily available, and then we get to be the first come, first serve client when they're looking for bombs to drop. Otherwise, it would probably be Germany or France or, you know, some other nation that's selling them weapons, because that's how it works. You guys seem to think that, oh, if only the US would just stop selling bombs to Israel, the world would be a fucking utopia. That's not how it works, guys. Hate to break it to you. I mean, there are a lot of, like, evil people in the world that only give a shit about money, and they really, really don't care about all the bleeding hearts out there for Palestinians and Ukrainians and whatnot. They just want the money for them sweet, sweet bombs. Okay? So you can go like, hey, US, stop selling that. They could, and then they would lose all leverage that they had, and there'd be completely no point being at the bargaining table because you'd have no reason to ever listen to the US about anything. Or you can funnel a little bit of money, and like that's why all the aid got, or a vast majority of the aid continued to get through, why that pier was built, even though it was kind of a clusterfuck, you know, why the attempts were made to get aid to the Palestinians in the first place, because we had that leverage. They still had to listen to us a little bit if they wanted us to keep funding them. But, you know, that's all about to come to an end, because you guys couldn't settle for anything less than a utopia. So that hundreds of thousands of dead Palestinians is about to turn into millions. Good job, guys. Israel warming, I think you mean warning, children before they kill them doesn't really seem humane. It does when you consider the fact that if they don't warn them, the building's full of fucking people. Which would you like? An empty apartment building collapsing on a couple dozen people that didn't get the message, or a full apartment building full of hundreds or thousands of people collapsing on hundreds of thousands of people and killing them? This is a pretty easy decision, guy. Literally, it goes back to the example I did earlier. Would you rather have a guy go out and kill one person, or a guy go out and kill 20 people? You don't get the option of utopia where nobody ever dies. You have to pick one or the other. Smart people would pick the one person dying. You know? These are the choices. They're not great choices, but they are the choices. It's Sophie's Choice. If you ever seen that movie, you know? You have to pick. Which kid do you want to give away to the Nazis? It's a tough choice, but it's a choice you gotta make, or both kids get taken. You know? This is the way of the world, my friend. This is the way you know, things work down here in reality. Life ain't a Disney movie, unfortunately. So tough decisions need to be made, and unfortunately, you guys made the wrong one. I don't think that really matters when upwards of 70 buildings in Gaza have been destroyed. Dude, yeah. Okay, guy. Well, you're about to see how much it matters when the other 30% are destroyed because you voted for Trump. Or didn't vote for Trump, but you pissed away a vote that could have gone to Kamala and stopped Trump. So, you know, like, I don't know what you don't get. Like, you're talking about Gaza. This is going to go way beyond Gaza. We're talking like all of Palestine here that's going to get wiped off the map because you guys couldn't settle for any less than exactly what you wanted. Like spoiled children at Christmas. I didn't get the right color present, so I'm not happy. Booty hooty hoo. No, that's not how it fucking works. Well, now you guys are about to find out. Karma is coming for you guys in a big way over the next couple of years, so Hope you guys enjoy. Anywho, on that cheery note, I'm gonna head on out. Since, I don't know, now on top of being sick, I'm thoroughly annoyed. But, yeah, thanks for dropping by. Like I said, feel free to go check out some of my other videos so you can maybe, like, get a better grasp on reality, but, have a feeling that ain't gonna happen since, you know, I've been dealing with you people a lot over the last couple of months. But, I'm spoiled because I can't stand for Holocaust. No, you're spoiled because you can't stand for anything less than a fucking utopia, like I keep saying. Like, you don't have the option of no people dying. Your options are less people dying or a lot of people dying. There is no option where nobody dies. That's the choice. Okay? Don't know what you don't get. Like, it's the same thing with the Jill Stein voters, where, oh, I hate the two-party system, so I'm voting for Jill Stein. Okay, cool. How many different ways do we need to explain to you that Jill Stein stands zero chance of winning? There is no option where you get rid of the two-party system, so you're either stuck with the lesser of the two-party system or the way, way worse of the two-party system. But still, there were more than 500,000, or I think over 700,000 idiots out there now that pissed away a vote on Jill Stein that could have stopped us from falling into a full-blown dictatorship. But, you know, good job, guys. How's that two-party system working out for you? Did you destroy it yet? What? No? Jeez, look at that. Who could have predicted that other than me when I told you? But, yeah, I'll just let you guys figure this out for yourself over the next couple of years as you watch Palestine get blown off the fucking map. Isn't any different with Israel. They're way different, guy. They were calling for a fucking ceasefire. Like, oh my god. Like, they're the same as Trump. No, they're not. They're calling for a ceasefire, and Trump was literally saying he's using Palestinians as a slur, saying that he isn't going to accept any refugees from there, and that he wants Israel to finish the job. And he wants Gaza to be mowed down so he can put up beachfront property. This is not me saying that. He's literally on video saying this. Which is better? The people calling for a ceasefire and actively negotiating for a ceasefire, or the guy that's saying, give them all the bombs so they can hurry up and finish the job? This is not a tough decision if you have more than a moldy walnut for a brain. Like, Jesus. God, you people are fucking depressing. All right, on that note, I'm heading out. Holy crap. Have a good night.